I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to The Resistance. This is Liberty versus Safety Part 2. Cliché. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin. In Part 1, I gave an example of when our lawmakers saw this as a warning and not a cliché. In 2026, it's hard to tell how our lawmakers see it. In 1978, Congress passed the FISA Act after the Church Committee found massive constitutional violations by the FBI, NSA, and CIA. The government was engaging in domestic surveillance without warrants or reason, and Congress decided that a little temporary safety was too high a price to pay for the loss of our liberties. After 9/11, they started to forget. They enacted Section 702 in 2008 and allowed our three-letter agencies to engage in surveillance of foreigners located outside the USA without warrants. Now, this was all before AI became a thing. But frankly, even before AI became a thing, they were violating FISA and Section 702 constantly. AI just made it even easier and more frequent. There are some members of Congress in both parties who still believe that our liberty needs to be protected, enough that Section 702 is currently on a 45-day extension from expiring. Some want it to go away altogether. Some want it to stay with more safeguards. Some, the most ardent of the Project 2025 wing of the Republicans, want it to be extended without any changes. At the state level, there's battles like Colorado's Senate Bill 2670, Ban Government Access Historical Location Information Database. What a terrible name. The goal of this bill was to protect us from things like geofence surveillance. That's when the government asks a private phone company or a private surveillance company to identify everybody that was within a certain area. For instance, if there's a No Kings protest in your town, the government can use your phone and cameras to identify everybody who attended the protest. This bill, despite being bipartisan and popular, was killed in committee the other day. The politicians who killed it are claiming that there was severe pushback from law enforcement, particularly because of the restrictions it held for flock cameras and their data. I don't believe that for a second. Here's why. My grandfather retired from the Chicago PD. He walked the beat in the days of Al Capone. Those aren't his cuffs. Those were my father-in-law's, who was also a cop. But this is Grandpa Joe's billy club and his service revolver. Those were the only tools he had, along with his relationship to the community. My point is, the cops have been solving crimes without AI in America since 1838, when the first American police department was formed in Boston. That's almost 200 years of crime solved, without flock cameras and geofences. Furthermore, the number of actual crimes solved by flock cameras and their data, it's anecdotal at best. There's no empirical evidence that they are providing us any safety, let alone significant safety, and definitely not enough safety to justify the loss of liberties that they represent. Personally, I believe this bill was killed because the business interests making billions of dollars from installing private surveillance systems and then selling the data from them wanted it to go away. Now, there were some members of the Colorado legislature who, at least temporarily, believed that temporary safety was too high a price to pay for the loss of liberties. I still believe that. Benjamin Franklin's words were a warning. In Part 3, I'll tell you about my surveillance policy and how I'll fight to get it enacted when I'm elected. Thanks for listening. Good day.